Hello guys, welcome to another video. This one is paper 2-2 of May-June 2013. So in this video again, we're going to be doing all the questions one by one and step by step. So let's move on with question number 1. So here we have a graph of root of y against x squared. It is a straight line passing through those 2 points. Now the question is to obtain y in terms of x. So let's first begin by trying to find the equation of this line, right? So because you have 2 points, you can find the gradient of the line. So gradient of the line will be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That will be 18 minus 3 divided by 4 minus 1. That should be 5. So this is my gradient of the line. And now we have a passing point which is 1 and 3. So usually you would write this is your x and this is your y normally, but now because this graph is of root of y against x squared, so here you have to write x squared and root of y. So your line will be, your equation, that will be root of y minus 3 over x squared minus 1 equal to 5, which is your gradient. Now we do cross multiply. So you will have root of y minus 3 is equal to 5x squared minus 5. Now simplify. Root of y equal to 5x squared minus 2. This is your equation of that line, but you have to find you have to express y in terms of x. So we have to square both sides. You will have y 5x squared minus 2 squared. Now you can leave your answer just like that. If you want to, you can also expand 2 as well. So you will have 25x power 4 minus, so that'll be 2 times this will be 20x squared plus 4. And this is your answer for question number 1, y in terms of x. Let's move on to question number 2. So here we have to solve the equation, giving your answer to 2 decimal places. So let's see how can we solve this. So of course one by one. So let's first, what is this? So we have p plus 1 means times 3 power 1 equal to 0.7. Now let's make p become the subject of formula. So write first 3p power p will be 0.7 divided by 3. So we have to make p become the subject. So we have to apply ln on both sides. That will be 0.7 divided by 3. And this, we can send this in the beginning. You have p ln of 3 is equal to same value over here. So finally, p will be ln of 0.7 over 3 divided by ln of 3. So ln of 0.7 divided by 3 divided by ln of 3. That will be minus 1.32 to 2 decimal places. That is your answer for part 1. Now for part B, we have to express this in the form of this, where a, b, and c are constants. So we have to simplify. Let's do one by one. So here we have on top, we just have y power 1 times 4 power 2 times x power 6, right? Just multiply. Now divide. This will become, so you have to know root is basically power of half. So this power half will be 8 power half times y 3 over 2. Now we can simplify one by one. So first thing first, let's simplify these two. So what is 4 again? 4 is 2 power 2. What is 8? 8 is 2 power 3. Okay, now we can rewrite this down. You will have y here times 2 power 4, right? And then x power 6. Divide by let's bring y here, y 3 power 2 times, so we have to replace 8 by this, you will have 2, 3 over 2, and times nothing else, so we don't have anything else, so that's all we have. Now we have to simplify, so let's look at one by one. So first we have y divided by, so this is y power 1 divided by 3 over 2, multiply by 2 power 4 divided by 2 power 3 over 2, multiply by x power 6. So for the first one, when you bring this up, you will have y power 1 minus 3 over 2. That will be y minus half. Now for this one, you have 2 power 4. When you bring this up, will be minus 3 over 2. You will have 2. So what is 4 minus 3 over 2? That will be 2.5. Okay, so your answer will be what? Let's write down. Your answer will be 2, 2.5, and then we have x power 6, and then y will be minus 0.5, minus half. So here you go. The values of a, b, and c are constant. So a is 2.5, b is 6, and c is minus 0.5. That is your question number 2. Now question number 3, we have a few curves here, as you can see. Now part 1, write down the letter of each graph which does not represent a function. So to know which one is a function, you just have to do a vertical line test. So basically, we have to see that by drawing a vertical line, does this line cut only one point? If it cuts only one point, then it is a function. So let's try. So here you will draw a vertical line. You will see that, hey, I have 2 points of intersection. So in that case, this is not a function. So this will be a is not a function. So same thing here. If you were to draw a vertical line, you see only 1 point, only 1 point. So this one is a function. Okay. Now again for this one, vertical line, only 1 point, vertical line, only 1 point. So it is a function. So this line you can draw anywhere on the graph. You can choose anywhere to draw this. Okay, you don't have to do it. Just you can draw it anywhere, but you just have to cut 1 point for it to be a function. If it cuts 2 points, it is not a function. Now same thing here. If you were to draw the vertical lines, you see it cuts at only 1 point, so it is a function. Now for this one, you see if I do this here, 2 points, so it is not a function. This is your not a function, and this one, it is going to be a function. That is part 1. Now part 2, write down the letter of each graph which represents a function that does not have an inverse. So to look for the one which have an inverse, doesn't have an inverse, we perform a horizontal line test. So what do I mean? I mean, if I were to draw a horizontal line, if this line cuts the graph at only one place, it means it has an inverse. So this one is okay, it has an inverse. Now same thing for this one. If I draw this or this or this, it cuts at only one place, so it has an inverse. But now for this one, if you observe, if I draw something like this, it will cut at 2 points. Because of that, it does not have an inverse. So your answer will be C, does not have an inverse. That's for the first one. And then let's try again. If I draw like this, it will have these 2 points, so it does not have an inverse. So D does not, D do not have an inverse. And for this one, as you can see, if I draw my lines, it cuts at only one place, so it has an inverse. And this one also, it has an inverse. So this will be your answer for part 2. So just to recap, to test if your graph is a function, you perform the vertical line test. And if the graph cuts at one place only, so let's say this is my graph, at one place only, it is a function. If my graph cuts at 2 places, for example, then it is not a function. Now for this one, to test if it has an inverse, I will perform a horizontal line test. If my graph cuts at only 1 point, it has an inverse. But if my graph cuts at 2 points, it does not have an inverse. So that's the main way to test for those two. Okay, now for part B, we have a graph of y against x, as you can see here. Now the diagram shows the graph of y equal to f of x on the same axis. Sketch the graph of y equal to f inverse of x. Now you have to know the relationship between a graph of f of x and its inverse. It is always going to be a reflection in the line of y equal to x. It is always true for a graph of f of x and against its inverse. So this will be your line. Of course, you'll be using a pencil, so you can erase the line afterwards. It can just help you to find the reflection. So you count, this is half will be here, this will be 1 will be here, half will be here. So you have this join with this, and this join with this. So this will be your graph for your f inverse. Okay, that is your question number 3. Let's move on to question number 4. The position vectors of point A and B relative to a point O are given by these two. Now, the point C lies on AB, okay, and we have the ratio of AB is 3 times AC. For example, you have a line AB, and the point C will lie on somewhere over here, such that AB is 3 times AC. Okay, so this thing should be 3. This is 1, so 3 times the size of AC. Okay, anyways, let's move on to part 1. Part 1, you see you have to find what? You have to find the position vector of C relative to O, so you have to find OC. So you have to use this information to find OC. So let's do one by one. How do you find AB? AB is OB minus OA equal to 3 times AC is OC minus OA. So simplify. AB has been given to you by, OB is given to you by 2, and minus 30. And OA has been given to you by 4 minus 21. Equal to 3 times OC minus 3 times OA. So simplify, we have 3 OC will be what? Will be this. This will be 22 minus 4 is 18. Minus 30 minus 21. So let's check. Minus 30 minus 21 should be minus 9. And then plus 3 times OA. So 3 times OA will be what? So we know OA is given by this. 3 times this will be 12 and minus 63. Now simplify. 18 plus 12, that will be 30. Minus 9 minus 63, that will be minus 72. So finally, we have to find the value of OC, will be this divided by 3. That will be 10. And this divided by 3, that will be minus 24. So this is your answer. We have to write this in this form, 10i plus, minus 24j. That will be your answer for part 1. Now for part 2, we have to find the unit vector in the direction of OC. So unit vector is defined by what? By OC divided by its magnitude. So what is the magnitude of OC? Pretty easy. It is square root of the first value square plus the second value square. 10 square plus 24 square, that will be root of 676. That will be 26. So your answer will be, we have to write 10i minus 24j over 26. That will be your unit vector. Now you can simplify, of course. Let's divide by 2 everywhere. You will have 5 over 13i minus 12 over 13j. That will be your unit vector in the direction of OC. That will be question number 4. Now let's move on to question number 5. Calculators must not be used in this question, so we have to show every step of your work on how did you get the answer. Now let's see what do we have. So the diagram shows a trapezium ABCD in which AD equal to 7. So this is 7. AB equal to this. Okay. AX is perpendicular to DC and DX is 2. Okay. And XC is X. Given that the area of the trapezium is this much, obtain an expression for X in the form of this. Okay, so basically we have to find the area of trapezium and then find X in terms of this. So let's do one by one. So first you have to understand, how do you find the area of a trapezium? You use the formula, right? So let's write this down. So formula for area of a trapezium is half times sum of parallel sides. It is, this side is 2 plus x plus this side is 4 plus root 5 and times the height. The height is this one. So how do you find the height of AX? If you observe, this one is a right angled triangle. You can find AX by using your Pythagoras theorem. Okay, so basically we have AX square plus 2 square equal to 7 square. So AX square will be 49 minus 4. AX square will be 45. AX will be root of 45. Okay, so the height, the perpendicular height will be root of 45. And this is supposed to give you the value of 15 times root of 5 plus 2. Okay, so now we have to try to simplify this left hand side to see what do we have. So we have half here. We can send half over here. So send half over here, you will have. So 2 plus this will be 6 plus x plus root of 5 times root of 45 equal to 30 times root of 5 plus 2. Okay, because half, when you do cross multiply, 2 multiplied by this, right? So you will have this for now. Now you have to observe, what can this become? So root of 45 can be what? It can be, what is 45? You would say 45 is 9 times 5. Okay, this can be written as root of 9 times root of 5. Now what is root of 9? It is 3 root of 5. So you place in your main equation, you will have 6 plus x plus root 5. This will be 3 root of 5 equal to 30 root of 5 plus 20. Simplify. This will cancel out. So divide by 3, you will have 10 root 5 here. Now we have to expand, right? So expand this side, you will have 6 root 5 plus x root 5 plus 5 is equal to 10 root 5 plus 20. Now we have to make x become the subject of formula because that's what we want to find. So let's do that. X root 5 will be 10 root 5 plus 20, so minus 5 and minus 6 root 5. So x root 5 will be, so this minus this will be 4 root 5 plus 15. Okay, so the value of x will be 4 root 5 plus 15 divided by root 5. So simplify one by one. You have 4 root 5 over root 5 plus 15 over root 5. Okay, so these two will cancel out. This will be just 4. Now for you to simplify this, you can just multiply top and bottom by the same value. Multiply root 5 and root 5. Okay, so this will become 15 root 5, sorry, 5 over 5, which is 3. So you will have 4 plus 3 root 5. This will be your answer for the value of x in terms of a plus b root 5. Okay, that will be your question number 5. Now let's move on to question number 6. So it says the shaded region in the diagram is a segment of a circle with center O. So it means that this is the region that we have as your shaded region. Okay. So I'm sorry about that. My printer doesn't have ink anymore. That's why we don't have the region, but it tells you which part is shaded. Okay. Now the center is O and the radius is R. We have angle AOB is pi by 3. Now you have to know pi is basically 180 degrees and pi by 3 is basically 60 degrees. So it is good to know. You don't need to know, but it's good to know. So you're more careful of what's going to happen next. So part 1, show that the perimeter of the segment is this. So we have to find the perimeter of this segment. So how do you find the perimeter? Perimeter is a distance around this region. It will be the length of arc and plus the length of this chord. So perimeter is number 1 plus number 2. So how would you find number 1? It is length of arc is found by using your formula. Arc length is r times the angle. R is r, angle is pi by 3. Now number 2 is the length of this chord AB. So how can you find AB? So if you observe, you can use your cosine rule, right? Because you know OAB is also a triangle. If you look at this, you know these two sides, you know the angle in between, you can use your cosine rule. So you would say cosine of the angle pi by 3 is equal to r square plus r square minus AB square divided by 2 times r times r. Now this is, you can simplify, so radians cos of pi over 3. That will be 0.5, which is half. So you will have, let's continue here for now. You will have half is 2r square minus ab square over 2r square. So these two will cancel out, and then we can just cross multiply. You will have r square equal to 2r square minus ab square. Now ab square is equal to ab square is equal to r square. So ab has to be r. So 1 is this, 2 is this, so simplify. Perimeter will be that will be what? That will be 1 plus 2, so r pi over 3 plus r, that will be factorize r outside. You will have pi over 3 plus 1. Now simplify this. Let's write this up here. So we can make this become the same base. That will become, so pi, so 3 plus pi over 3. Same thing. So this is shown as required. So this one was pretty obvious too. I think I did the long way, but just to explain what happened here is, because this is 60, right? Because these two are the same, which means that these two angles have to be the same. Now let's look at this. So we know the angle of a triangle is 180. You minus 60 divided by 2. It means that these two angles are also 60. So since all the three angles are the same, it has to be an equilateral triangle. So this is R, and this has to be R as well. So this should have been pretty easier to do. So AB is R, and this one is this. So we just add those two. You will have this as your answer, shown as required. Now for part 2, given that the perimeter of this segment is 26, find the value of R and the area of the segment. So pretty easy. So we know that P from part 1 is equal to 3 plus pi over 3. It is equal to 26. So we have R here, R times this. So we have to find the value of R. So R will be 26 times 3. That's the first thing. And then, so right now we have divide by 3 plus pi. Right. So 26 times 3 divided by 3 plus pi. That will be 12.7. That is your radius of the sector or the triangle. Now we have to find the area of segment. So how do you find the area of segment? So if you observe, you have to first find the whole area minus the area of triangle to find the area of segment. So let's do that one by one. So the whole area is found by using half r square theta. Half r square is 12.7 square. Theta is pi by 3. So half times 12.7 square times pi by 3. That will be 84.4512. And number 2, area of triangle, half of sine of the angle, which is pi by 3, times r, the two sides, which is r and r. So that will be half times r times sine of the angle, pi by 3. That will be 69.84061. So finally, area of segment will be number 1 minus number 2. So 84.4512 minus answer, that will be 14.6. That will be centimeter square. Okay, so that will be your answer for part 2 of this question. So let's first double check if this is right. So that will be 26. So that will be 26 times 3 divided by 3 plus pi. Yep, seems to be okay. That is your answer for question number 6. Now let's move on to question number 7. So differentiate with respect to x the following functions. So first one, so d by dx of this, pretty easy. So let's write down d by dx of the function. So first you have to multiply the power. You will have 12 times 3 minus 5x, then minus 1, and then multiply by the inside differentiation will be minus 5. So your answer will be minus 60 times 3 minus 5x power 11. Now for part 2, we have to differentiate this one, d by dx of x squared sine x. So first we have to leave the first one as it is, because you can see it is a product, right? So it is two functions multiplied by each other to each other, it will be a product. So we have to use the product rule. So leave the first one as it is, then do d by dx of the second one. Then we write plus, leave the second one as it is, then do by d by dx of the first one. So that will give you x squared multiplied by cos x plus sin x multiplied by 2x. That will be x squared cos x plus 2x sin x. So this is your answer for part 2. Now for part 3, as you can see, this one is a fraction, so you have to use your quotient rule. So d by dx of this fraction. So first you have to write down the denominator as it is, so which is the base is called the denominator as it is, then multiply by d by dx of the numerator, which is tan x. Then we have to write minus the numerator as it is, multiply by d by dx of the denominator, and then everything has to be divided by the square of the denominator. Okay, so basically in exam you cannot write in this space, you have to write below. Okay, make sure that you don't do this. But anyways, that should be the answer. Now we can simplify. So 1 plus exponential 2x, that will be sec square x minus tan x times 2 exponential 2x divided by 1 plus exponential 2x square. So let's see what do we have. You can leave your answer just like that. That is enough for your answer. Now, if you want to simplify, you can. Let me just rewrite this down again. So you will have sec square x plus exponential 2x sec square x minus 2 exponential 2x tan x, all this divided by the base square, which is 1 plus exponential 2x square. You can leave your answer just like that, or you can expand if you want to, like this as well, for your answer for part 3. Now let's move on to question number 8. So solutions to this question by drawing will not be accepted, so you have to show your work step by step on how did you find the answer. So the points A, B, and C are vertices of a triangle. Okay, so basically you have a triangle. This will be your point A, B, and C. For example, okay, it is not exact, but that's the idea. Now part 1, find the equation of the line AB. Okay, so pretty easy. To find the equation of a line, you first have to find the gradient. So gradient of AB, you use your formula, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That'll be 4 over 8. That will be half. Then you use a passing point. We can choose 2, 6. That will be your x and y. So y minus 6 over x minus 2 is equal to 1 over 2. So we just cross multiply. You will have 2y minus 12 is equal to x minus 2. So 2y will be x plus 10. So that will be in this form. We have to make y become the subject. Y will be half of x plus 5. And this is your answer for part 1. Now for part 2, given that the angle ABC is 90 degrees, angle B, find the equation of BC. So basically, from this information, you know that AB has to be A, B, and C. This has to be 90 degrees. So you have to find the equation of BC. So first thing, if you know the gradient of AB, you can know the gradient of BC because they are perpendicular to each other. So you have to use your knowledge of how to find that. Usually we know that the gradient of AB, if you multiply by the gradient of BC, that will give you minus 1 because they are perpendicular to each other. But now we know this already. This is half times gradient of BC. That will be minus 1. So conclusion, BC should be minus 2. Now to find the equation, we have to use a passing point. We know the point B already. It is 2, 6. Again, same technique, xy, y minus 6 over x minus 2 should be equal to the gradient. Then we apply, cross multiply, you will have y minus 6 equal to minus 2x plus 4. Y will be minus 2x plus 10 as your answer for part 2. Now let's move on to part 3 of this question. Given that L, the length of AC, is 10 units, find the coordinates of each of the 2 possible positions of C. Okay, so let's find one by one. So as you guys know, the point A has been given to us by, so let's use a different point, by minus 6, 2. The point B, we know also it is 2, 6, and the point C we don't know, it is xy. And from part 2 we know the line ABC has been found to be equal to y equal to minus 2 x plus 10. And let's see if this can help us to find something. We know this is A, this is B, and this is C, and that will be the length of AC. That will be 10. This is 90. So how can you find the length of AC? So usually we find the length by using the formula, right? So AC, we have to first find AC. That will be OC minus OA OC will be xy minus OA is minus 6, 2. That will be x plus 6, y minus 2. So we have AC magnitude root of the first value, x plus 6 square, plus y minus 2 square is equal to 10. Now we have a new equation, which is x plus 6 square, y minus 2 square will be 100. That is my equation number 1. And this is my equation number 2, because this is the equation for AC, this is for BC, and they both meet at the point C, so we can find this point of C. So we have to solve this simultaneous equation. So replace y in this equation. Let's see what you will have. So you will have, here we can expand, you will have x squared plus 12x plus 36. This will be y is minus 2x plus 10 will be plus 8, because 10 minus 2 is 8, square will be 100. Simplify, you will have x squared plus 12x plus 36, that will be plus 4x squared minus 32x plus 64 has to be 100. Simplify, x squared plus 12x plus 36 plus 4x squared minus 32x plus 64 has to be 100. So simplify, this plus this will be 5x squared. This minus this will be minus what? 12 minus 32 minus 20 and plus 100, that will be 100. So these two will cancel out. You will have 5x squared minus 20x equal to 0. So factorize, that will be 5x minus 20 equal to 0. So x can be 0, or 5x minus 20 can be 0. So from this, x can be 4. So for the first point will be y is equal to minus 2 times 0 plus 10. That will be 10. Y equal to minus 2 times 4 plus 10. That will be 2. So your 2 points of C can be 0, 10, or it can be 4, 2. And this is your answer for question number 3. Not a part 3. Let's move on to question number 9. The graph of y equal to this passes through the 2 points, this and this. Find the value of k and the value of c. So one by one, let's use the first point. This is x and y. So you will have y is 14 equal to k times 3 power x plus c. That will be 14 equal to k plus c, number 1. Now for this one, same steps, x and y. So y will be 6 k times 3 power minus 2 plus c. That will be 6 equal to k over 9 plus c multiplied by 9. That will be, so what is 6 times 9? Should be 54. Let's check. 54 equal to k plus 9c, number 2. Here we have k, here we have k. So k is 14 minus c. So 54 equal to 14 minus c plus 9c. So let's see, what do we have? Let's send this over here. You will have what? 54 minus 14, that will be 40 equal to 8c. So c will be 5. Now the value of k will be 14 minus 5, that will be 9. So c is 5 and k is 9. That is part A. Now for part B, we have to, let's see, what do we have? Variables x and y are connected by your equation y, and this is x. Now for part 1, we have to find the value of y when the value of x has to be 4. So let's see, what do we have? So replace back in your equation. Y will be exponential power 4 plus 25 minus 24 exponential minus 4. So I think it's asking for the exact value, then we would not try to simplify. Usually if it is, we can also provide in decimal place if you want to. That will be exponential power 4 plus 25 minus 24 over exponential power 4. I think let's try to provide this in terms of decimal place. So exponential power 4 plus 25 minus 24 divided by exponential power 4. That will be 79.2, correct to 3SF. You can leave this as your answer, or you can provide this as your answer as well. That is part 1. Now part 2, find the value of exponential x when y equal to 20, and hence find the corresponding value of x. So step by step. So replace y by 20, you have 20 exponential x plus 25 minus 24 over exponential x. So simplify, you will have, send this over here, or over here, you will have exponential x plus 5 minus 24 over exponential x equal to 0. Now multiply everywhere by exponential x, that will give you exponential 2x plus 5 exponential x minus 24 equal to 0. Now we can factorize. This is square, right? So exponential x times exponential x. 24 is 8 times 3, so 8 times 3. To get plus 5, we have to have plus 8 minus 3. So exponential x can be minus 8, exponential x can be 3. We have to reject this value because exponential cannot be negative, so reject it. We have only one value left, so this is your answer for this one. Hence, using this, find the value of x. X will be ln of 3. That will be your answer for the value of x. And that is your question number 9. Let's move on to question number 10. The function f is defined by, for this domain, by this function. Okay. Now part 1, sketch the graph of y equal to f of x on the axis below. Okay. So let's do one by one. So first thing, let's draw this line. This is called the baseline. When the value here is 1, let's draw the line 1. This is 1 here. So this is your baseline. This y equal to 1. Now your amplitude is 3. So we count 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So let's draw the lines here as well. It is a guide to help you to understand where your graph will be. So basically these two lines tell you your graph will be between those two lines. It will not go above or below these two lines. Okay, as you can see, it is equal. It will be between those two. Now we have to replace those values in your equation. So first one is 0. So 1 plus 3 cos 0. That will be 4. 4 is here. So your graph will begin at this value. Now we have to use degrees. So 1 plus 3 cos of 2 times 90. 2 times 90 is what? 180. Minus 2 will be right here. And then for this one, 180. So we have 1 plus 3 cos 180 times 2, that should be 360. 4 again. And as you can see, it is going up, should be going down, same thing, right? So let's try again. 1 plus 3 cos of 2 times 270, that will be minus 2. And this should be back here. Okay, so now what happens for the value in between? 45. Let's check. So 1 plus 3 cos 2 times 45 will be 90. 1. So the value in between here will be 1. So value in between here will be also, let's check. So between those two is what? 90 plus 180 divided by 2 is 135. So 1 plus 3 cos 2 times answer. That should be 1 as well. So basically every value in between here will be 1. So let's mark that. 1, 1, and 1. So now let's join all the points together. So let me use a different color here. So that will be the point. Okay. That will be your answer right here. Now this one is only a sketch. It doesn't need to be exact, but you have to give the shape of the curve like this. Okay. And of course you have to label this as y equal to 1 plus 3 cos 2x. This is part 1 of the question. Now for part 2, we have to state the amplitude. So the amplitude will always be the number in front of your trigonometry function. That will be 3. State the period. To find the period, we have to use this value here. So we have to take, so if it is a cos or sine function, we take 360 divided by the number here, which is 2, right? That will be 180. That is your period of f. Now part B, given that cos x equal to p, okay, where x is between those two, find the cosec x in terms of p. So let's see. So cos x equal to p in between those two, we have to find cosec of the in terms of p as well. So let's see, what does it mean? If you look at your quadrants, so where is that part? That is your fourth quadrant, right? So it means that in this fourth quadrant, you know that cos is positive value, so that's not a big deal. So we have cos of x is equal to positive p. What is cosec? Cosec of x is defined by 1 over sine x, right? So how would you find that? 1 over sine x. Now you have to think, what can you use to use this to find this? Okay, so we have to use this one here. So look at your triangle, this thing. So in this quadrant, what is the sine value going to be? If you think, because you know that when sine is positive, it will be in the first quadrant and your second quadrant, right? But now since cos x is positive value, according to this, that will be cos x. It will be right here. This is your angle x, and this is your triangle here. This is what? 90 degrees, and p is p over 1. Now let's play with that. So let's make this bigger. You have a triangle here. This is your angle x, 90. And p cos u is defined by a side, so adjacent over hypotenuse. Adjacent will be p. Hypotenuse will be 1. So how would you find this side? By using the Pythagoras theorem, right? So that will give you, so you will have to find out, let's call this one the side L. So p square plus L square is equal to 1 square. L square is equal to 1 minus p square. So L has to be root of 1 minus p square. Okay, that is your L side. Now if we have to find sine of the angle x, so from this, sine of x will be what? Will be your opposite side over your hypotenuse, so L over 1. L is given by root of 1 minus p square. Now given that it is in this quadrant, fourth quadrant, sine will be negative. It will be minus root of 1 minus p square. Now from this you can derive this. Finally, cosec x is equal to minus 1 over root of 1 minus p square. And this is your answer for part B. Now let's move on to question number 11. A curve has equation y equal to this. We have to find dy by dx and d2y by dx2. So first thing, let's simplify. How can you rewrite this? You can do 3x plus x minus 4 power minus 3. Now for this one, dy by dx will be what? 3 minus 3x minus 4 times minus 4. That should be 3 minus 3 over x minus 4 square. Now same thing, d2y by dx2. First one will be 0. Then you have minus 3 times minus 4. X minus 4 times minus power minus 5. That will give you 12 over x minus 4 power 5. Okay, that is the two answers you need to show. Now for part 2, show that the coordinates of the stationary points is given by these two. So how do you know? You know that at stationary points, the value of dy by dx has to be 0. And you know dy by dx is this over this is equal to 0. So first thing, let's multiply by the denominator everywhere. To eliminate this one, you will have 3 x minus 4 square minus 3 is equal to 0. So x minus 4 square will be 3. So x minus 4 square is 1. So x minus 4 will be plus minus 1. So from this you can see x can be 4 plus minus 1. So let's continue here. X can be 5 or x can be 3. Find the value of y. Y is your main function. So let me write this down again. Y is from the question itself. It is 3x plus 1 over x minus 4 power 3. So y will be 3 times this will be 15 plus 1 over 1. That will be 16. Y will be 9 plus 1 over minus 1. That will be 8. So 5, 16, and 3, 8. This is shown as required for part 2. Now for part 3, determine the nature of the point. So nature, we have to use d2, y, and dx2. This is 12 over x minus 4 power 5. So at this point, x equal to 5. That will be 12 over 5 minus 4 power 5. That will be 12. It is a positive value. And at x equal to 3, that will be 12 over 3 minus 4 power 5 minus 12, negative value. So based on this, you can write down the point 5, 16 is a minimum point. Now, so when you have a minimum point, the other point will be, it has to be a maximum point. This will be maximum point. Okay, so that will be your question number 11 for part 3. Now part 4, we have to find the integration of this. So again, same things. We have to simplify. That will become 3x plus x minus 4 power minus 3 dx. That will be 3x squared over 2 plus x minus 4. That will be plus 1 minus 2 times 1. That will be simplified to 3 over 2 x squared minus 1 over 2 x minus 4 square plus c. This is your answer for part 4. Now for part 5, hence find the area of the region enclosed by the curve and the line this, the x-axis, and this. So basically we are trying to find, for example, if that was your graph, let's say your shape will be like this, and this is 5 and this is 6. You want to find the area enclosed by this. Okay, so let's do that. You will have integration of the curve is 3x plus 1 over x minus 4 cube dx for the limits of 5 and 6. This is equal to 3 over 2 x squared minus 1 over 2 x minus 4 squared between 6 and 5. That will be what? 3 over 2 36 minus 1 over 2 2 squared minus 3 over 2 25 minus 1 over 2, that will be 1 square. So simplify. So 3 over 2 times 36, that will be 54 minus 1 over 8 minus 3 over 2 times 25, that will be 37.5 minus 1 over 2. So simplify 54 minus 1 over 8, that will be 53.875 minus 37.5 minus 0.5 should be 37. So your answer will be 53.875 minus answer, that will be 16.875. Or you can write in terms of fraction, will be 16/7 over 8. That is your answer. You have to write units square for area. Okay, so that was the last question of this paper. I hope that was somewhat helpful. As always, thank you for watching. I will see you soon.